Hi guys, welcome back to Sprague River Homestead. I will say right off the bat, our internet is acting really dodgy, so we'll see if we can make it through this or not. I see Jacinda's on. Woohoo, I made it on time. You did. I wasn't sure I was going to make it on time. Um, Kaden had to come help me do chores tonight. I got busy canning and ran myself pretty much almost out of time. So, Elijah, hello. Okay, so we'll just start with what we've got going on around here because you might have noticed we've been doing bupkis for videos lately, and it's just I've been so busy with other stuff. Shy's Garden, hello from Montana. Hello, hello. Kathy, hi, and RW, hello, everybody. Good night. Um, so, like I mentioned a second ago, I have been busy canning. We butchered the last of our roosters here pretty recently, just the ones that I had hatched this year. So they were 5, 6 months old. So I am canning all of that, which, if you've ever pressure canned, you know it sucks. So, Jacinda, how's my back doing? It's doing pretty well. So we have concrete floors on our house. So standing in front of the stove and doing a lot of canning today is kind of aggravating it, but not bad, not bad. I can live with it. So yeah, so I've been canning. I did a bunch of broth. Um, so I've been stuck in the house. I did make the most of it. I made a cheesecake and some bread today. And if you're stuck in the house, you might as well do the good stuff. The Alan Shire, I've really been enjoying your short clips. Well, thanks. Oh, so the short clip thing is new. Everybody has been asking us for like the last year to put little videos up of the animals and miscellaneous stuff. So I've been kind of on the fence about it because I don't carry my phone outside with me a whole lot, but we are trying to give that a try. We had a whole bunch of them this last week, and I've kind of slacked off again, but I will try and get some more this week because I have new little bunnies coming out of the nest box, which is really cool. Michael, hello from Utah. Hello to you too. Uh, Kathy, yum cheesecake. Yes, I haven't made a cheesecake in a long time. And I will admit, this is not like I've made the big fancy cheesecakes. This is the standard Philadelphia 3 ingredient vanilla eggs. I guess it's technically 4 ingredient. It says three on it. But cream cheese, eggs, sugar, vanilla. Pretty easy. And in a graham cracker crust. So nothing fancy by any means, but dessert's dessert. So Shy's Garden. Oh, the jumping jelly bean baby bunnies. My husband and I loved. Yes, they are. They're quite jumpy at this age. So I've got some that I was really excited for. So I have a Harlequin doe that I couldn't get to breed with the Harlequin bucks here for the last year. She's a proven breeder. I don't know why she suddenly decided she doesn't like the striped boys anymore, but um, I bred her to an American, and I was like so stoked I was going to get some wild stuff. And no, they're one black and two blues, but they're getting huge. Like they're almost twice the size of the purebred Harlequins that were born at the same time. So they're just going to be meat rabbits. It was just about trying to get that doe to cycle again. So it's just kind of the way it works. Jacinda, when had cement floors, Crocs were my best friends. It's so hard to find Crocs anymore. And the ones I have are literally so old that I don't know that there's much left of them. Like there's no tread whatsoever. And I've got a couple different pairs of shoes that I just use in the house that they work okay. Usually it's not a big deal, but with my back still being a little funny, it's been a little uncomfortable. Kathy, we sent the pigs to freezer camp, so I've been rendering lard all week. Definitely doesn't smell as good as cheesecake. That is one thing I've never done is rendered lard. I won't lie. We're having connection problems. Let's see. I don't know how well the connection is going to do tonight because our internet has been terrible. So I'm hoping that we're going to stay going. But yeah, some of the baby bunnies were a little they're cute at this age, but as a show breeder, I was kind of like, nah. There is some nice ones. Kanan picked one out tonight that I'll get into a video here pretty soon because it's not bad. It's showable. Let's see. Kathy, I use lard for everything. I know everybody does, and I've never cooked with lard. I've never done anything with it. So it's on the bucket list. I try to add a new homesteading skill every year. This year, the focus is learning to dairy. So my does are due in May, and so we're going to be doing the dairy thing. But maybe next year I'll get some pigs. Got a lot planned for this year, a lot on my plate. So, Jacinda, I also use double knitted felted slippers. Yeah, that sounds like it'd work. Shy's Garden. I'm the one who contacted you on Facebook about getting Americans from you in July. Hubby and I are really excited to drive out there later this year. Awesome. So, true story. I have had like 20 people contact me about Americans in the last 2 weeks. So, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I am bringing a whole bunch of stock in from some breeders in California that I've been friends with for a long time, that I am sweet talking into giving up part of their herds so I can bring more stock up here because I've mentioned it in other videos that my herd is getting really old. Most of my breeders are like 3 and 4, and some are barely making litters now at 5. So we are bringing in new does for the first time in 4 years. I've brought in some bucks off and on, but this is the first time I've brought does in. So we're gonna bring a bunch of stuff in. It's gonna be pretty exciting, and I'm really excited to meet a whole bunch of new people. Like I had a ton of people asking me about Americans, and I'm really stoked to get a heritage breed like this in everybody's hands. They really are great rabbits, and a friend of mine is actually working right now on getting her first trio of silver fox, and she lives 30 miles from me. She's raised them before, so this is actually her first set in like 10 years. So hopefully we will start having silver fox in my area too, which is just really awesome. So I'm excited. We'll see how it goes, but I'm excited. And she's also talking about doing some American chins. So keep your fingers crossed. We could start to have some really nice heritage breeds down here. KGS Family Channel. Have you ever had a problem with your kits losing weight during weaning? I always lose a few kits during weaning with every litter. Is this coxy? We are treating for it just to be safe. How old are your kits when you're weaning? And I'll watch for your answer because that's kind of a key when you're starting to lose kits. Very seldom, especially in winter, it's very seldom coccidia, but it might be something else. And so I'll see what you come up with. But yeah, it could be. I doubt it's coccidia. Like I said, it's not a good time of year unless you're in like Florida and it's really warm. Chances are that's not what's going on. Selva's collection. I am Isaiah from India. Happy to see you again. What are the struggles we will get in rabbit selling? What are all the struggles we will get in rabbit selling? If you're trying to just sell locally, it's about building reputation. Are really used to them going for like dirt cheap. That's what we face here in the United States a lot of times. It's trying to hiccup again. Okay, so since it kind of spazzed out on me, never apologize for your price. If you have done your research and are pricing your rabbits according to what you have in them, the market value, and the quality that they are, never apologize for your price. Never back down on your price. My show quality Harlequins are $75, period. They go up to 125. You won't get one from me for $50. It's just not going to happen. I will eat it first. So hold your line at your quality. You've got to know what you've got. That's kind of the biggest thing. And when people tell you it's worth $10, tell them to go find a rabbit elsewhere. If they want good quality stock, they will pay what you're asking. Let's see. Shy's Garden. Yeah, we want to try and help the breed gain ground out where we are. You really did sell me on the breed with your video. Well, thanks. I really do think Americans are great. And I to see that the heritage breeds are coming back. That's a really big deal to me. Okay. I don't wean anything until 8 weeks. Are eating on their own to be on their own until at least 8. Track at 5 to 8 weeks is not mature enough yet. So probably what's happening is you're actually getting something called weaning enteritis. It's not coccidia. does some similar stuff. So you can bloat. Sometimes they'll have diarrhea. Sometimes they won't gain weight, and sometimes they'll just die. But that's usually what it is. So my suggestion to you is don't wean so early. We don't take anything out of a pin until at least 8 weeks. If you wait until they're at least 8 weeks, the GI tract, to biologists much smarter than me, they say that the biology and the GI tract of domestic rabbits is more mature, and they can finally do their own cecotropes and all that kind of stuff. So try to get them sick and kill them anyway, because they can't really do anything with the medication. Okay, so we're gonna keep buffering. I'm gonna keep going and try. I'll just pause when it does it. So if you see something weird, it's probably me trying to overcome this. But the Allenshire, I had a silver fox trio from Lori and Heather. They were great rabbits. And Heather's not breeding so it's Lori is, and I got a whole bunch of names of new breeders that I've never met that are doing them now. So let's see. Kathy, my neighbor used to raise meat rabbits, and she's going to walk me through the first butcher batch. I feel blessed to have her as my neighbor. We're going to have a butchering video out at some point this spring, too. I've been on the fence about it. I get tired of being harassed by the anti meat people. But we've had enough people asking for it. We're just going to go for it. Kathy, I will eat it first. And period that we use way too many warmers. If you are not actively seeing parasites, there's no reason to treat for parasites. Rabbits, a lot of times kept in a domestic situation on cage wire with feeding pelletized feed, very seldom will ever get worm. If you're feeding a lot of grass hay or using them out in the yard pen, you no need to treat. The Allenshire Heather is starting to get excited about lilacs. I wondered if she might switch. Heather went to lilacs for a couple of reasons. One of the big reasons is just the size of dealing with the silver fox. And it's hard when you're dealing with. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, the lilacs are easier for Heather, which I totally support. She's doing great things with them. It just, I don't know. I get tired of the harassment emails and nasty comments and that kind of stuff. Okay. And pasted death. My husband thankfully has no issue. It's all in how you butcher. We do cervical dislocation, so we've got ringer. Boy, I hope this thing is going to quit doing this. So we use a ringer, and it takes seconds. I don't hit them with a hammer. I don't shoot them. I don't do any of that. Put them in the ringer, grab them, pull them, and it's done. I mean, very seldom. The only time I can't do it by myself is on an older rabbit. If you get like a buck over 8, 9 months, all the ligaments in their neck. CC Abad, good morning from the Philippines. Good morning. Good morning from the Philippines. Well, good evening from the US. Shi's Garden, I would definitely watch a good educational butchering video from you. And we might turn off the comments. We were talking about that yesterday when it came up again. That if we do that video, we'll probably just turn the comments off. It gets just exhausting. Like I get it in a lot of the meat rabbit videos, and it's just it kind of is what it is. But see, I can't butcher any of my bunnies. It's different strokes for different folks. That's what I'm going to say. Different strokes for different folks. For us, we remember that rabbits were domesticated for food, and we don't have a problem with it. It takes a while to get over it, but it's not for everybody. Let's see. So, like I said, we'll keep going until it stops me. So, so beyond canning, beyond what's going on with the rabbits, I did breed my satins. I do have some new litters of Harleys. Like I said, new Americans are coming. And I started some more quail eggs, so we'll have baby quail again in about 2 weeks. Uh, Beyond that, I don't know what in the world is going on with the weather. We got 4 inches of snow, and then we got another inch, and then it melted, so we're down to, like, 2 inches of snow, and, rain is coming, so mud is coming, not a good situation. But my chickens are starting to lay, and some of the turkeys are starting to lay, so I think it's gonna be a really, really wild year. I don't know what's going on with the weather. My friend down in Texas has snow right now, so who knows? 2021 is throwing all kinds of great stuff at us. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Landon, what is your favorite rabbit recipe? Oh boy, I don't know that I have a favorite. So we use rabbit for everything, and I mean pretty much everything. We cook it and pull it down and use it for tacos, burritos. We grind a lot of rabbit, so we use it for sausage. We use it for burger. We use it for all kinds of stuff. In particular, I don't know. I mean, we use it in the place of everything chicken. So there's not like one recipe that really stands out for me. It's just kind of whatever. We use it in everything. Let's see. Shy's Garden. So there's the American. Is the American chin a different branch, or is it completely different and just happens to have American in the name? The American chinchilla um, is a whole different rabbit. So the American, and I can't remember what year the American chinchilla was created, but so the American is a longer mandolin type. We've always been mandolin. That means we've got the flat shoulder, and then we come up to the rise. Um, we were developed to be a pelt rabbit, not a pet rabbit, a pelt rabbit. So we've always been big and always had this kind of size. My understanding of the American Shannon, I could be wrong because I don't breed them. The American, and there goes buffering again. I hope that went through. But yeah, so the American, they're called the American chinchilla because they are the chinchilla that was developed in the United States. At least that was my understanding of it. But yeah, they were just developed to be a bigger version of the standard chinchilla, which my came from Europe. I mean, all domestic rabbits came from Europe, but the standard chin in particular, and I think the giant chin also came over from Europe as they were and then kind of evolved to what they are now. But the American chin was developed in the United States, was my understanding of it. So Anita, hi, I'm here. Well, welcome, Anita. Well, we're buffering really bad, so we'll see if this stays going. Um, but yeah, good question about the American chin. I will have a video coming out on them here pretty soon, and I'm gonna get a girlfriend in town to help me with it because she's raising them now. I've got some footage and got a start to it, but because I'm getting a lot of people asking, which is exciting. I'm glad to see some of the chinchillas starting to pick up. One year I went to a convention, I want to say in Del Mar, California, ARBA convention, and literally there was like 15 American chinchillas at the entire convention. And it was really sad. I almost got some at that time, but I didn't have cage space. Now I kind of wish I'd have gotten them. Um, but I went a different way. So it's just kind of is what it is. But yeah, their numbers have been really low. Giant chins are another one. And the giant chinchilla is a mandolin type like the American, but it's a heavier bone, so it's closer. They're kind of a weird deal. So they're not as big as a Flemish giant, but they are heavier boned than the American. Uh, and I can't remember. I think their size is a little bit bigger than what the American is off the top of my head. I can't remember, but the giant chin's a really neat rabbit too. It's just really, really big. Landon, what are your favorite rabbit breeds to show? um, I love showing my Harlequins, and the reason I love showing my Harlequins is they are so different. And when you take them up to a show table, you'll get a lot of people that will walk by and stop to watch the Harlequins because a really nicely marked Harlequin is just an amazing looking animal, right? Because you've got the split, the alternating markings. That's probably my favorite to show. It's also my most frustrating breed to show because our standard is rather ambiguous, we get a lot of judges that kind of panic at the markings and fall back on judging for type, which Harlequins are not known for having really good type. It's something we as a breed have been working on. So it gets a little frustrating. I literally have had judges place rabbits, and when they go to give you comments on their placing, just say, I don't know. I like that one better than this one. So gets to be a little bit frustrating. Uh, but I also show with a really tremendously awesome group of girls, ladies, from like 12 up to in the 50s and 60s. I have a great, great group of women that I show with, and that makes all the difference. I've been in other breeds where it's really kind of cutthroat, and that's not a lot of fun to me. Like the satin people can be kind of snooty. I've got friends that breed satin, so I won't say all of them, but they can be. It's more competitive, and so that's kind of not as much fun. French slops, English slops, some of that's the same way. When you get into some of the higher dollar breeds, like Netherland dwarves are crazy expensive. Those people, I swear to God, will cut you for $1. They're just not. There's probably somebody who breeds Netherlands thinking, "What a jerk!" But it just seems like some of those people, and I have a friend who breeds Netherlands, so they're not all like that either. But it seems like the more expensive rabbits, people get a little bit more cutthroat, which isn't fun. This is not. Shy's Garden, what does it mean by legs with the show? Like this rabbit has 3 legs. I love that you asked that question because the first time I bought a rabbit that had 3 legs that was ready to be a grand champion, I was so excited. I posted it on. You can win a leg of grand championship is what it's called. And it takes 3 legs. So, and I know it buffered through part of that. So when you win, a lot of times you win a leg. As long as you're competing against at least 5 rabbits from 3 different owners, breeders, you can win what's called a leg of grand championship. And it takes 3 legs. You take your rabbit and you get your rabbit registered. And if you've got 3 legs, I think two, but at least one leg has to be a senior leg. And you submit it off and you get a lot of people retire them after they get, 5 legs of grand champion. They don't show them anymore. With the Harlequins, because until he quit doing very well. So I have a buck 7 legs, I want to say. So we granted him he actually granted at 12. But yeah, so when you see something that says a rabbit has 3 legs, that means that they've either are about to grand champion. Usually it means they're about to grand champion or have just earned their grand championship. So it doesn't mean there's a whole bunch of 3-legged rabbits hopping around in the world, but that, the non-rabbit people usually assume so. Cause like I said, my cousin was just like, I don't get it. 3-legged rabbit. Why are you paid money for a 3-legged rabbit? But okay. And I don't know if comments are coming in or not. It kind of like jumps on me. So we'll see if it comes back. So beyond that, we have been making progress on our website. I mentioned it on Facebook, I think, that I started a website and I am starting a blog on there, and it's just kind of updates on the farm. So nothing real exciting. What I am super, super excited about. Louie Navarro. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Louie. One thing that we're getting ready to start, and we'll have videos out later this year, is where I've put my weaning hutches in the barn. I had some empty space out in the goat barn. So I've moved some hutches out there, and I'm getting ready to build a worm bed underneath. So we'll be doing some vermicomposting underneath them. I've been wanting to do it for years. Rabbit shows. I'm not sure what you're asking. Do I have a grand champion in rabbit shows? I've had a lot of grandians over the years. I've got a lot of them in the barn right now, but I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Landon, how many cages do you have? Did you build them or buy them? I don't have time for cage building. I'll just admit that. I bought all of my cages. I have 71 holes, so 71 cage units in the barns, and then I have, if you've ever seen them, KW Cages sells what's called a rabbit tech system. It's got the big flush pans underneath them. I have one of those that I'm going to sell this summer. It's needs to be pulled apart and resealed. And it's got, I think currently it's configured at 18 holes, I think, because I've got some dividers jerked out of it. Um, yeah, I'm not big on, I mean, I've assembled all the cages that I have because they come flat, but I don't build them myself. Most of the time it's cheaper to actually buy cages versus the wire because we don't have any cage companies really close, and the wire is super freaking heavy, and shipping, if you've looked lately, shipping is astronomical. So yeah, I buy all my cages. Some of them I've bought used. I've bought wire on occasion and replaced floors and that kind of stuff. And I'll be doing that a lot this year because a lot of my cages are getting old, and we're starting to get some rust and things, which is not good for the rabbits' feet. So I'm going to be pulling a bunch of cages apart and replacing floors. Let's see, Louis. We're trying to promote rabbit meat here in the Philippines because people are not used to eat rabbits. Pork is expensive. Um, well, that's kind of interesting. Rabbit usually is pretty widely consumed. We kind of have the same problem in the United States. It's not widely eaten anymore. It was at one point. The problem we have in the United States is pet culture, is what most people are calling it now. And that is our willingness to turn anything for any reason into a pet. And so, unfortunately, in the last like probably 30 years, the guys kind of turned that corner into thinking that rabbits need to be pets, that they aren't food anymore. So, it's just kind of one of those things. Just keep at it, keep marketing the benefits of why rabbits, and how cost effective it can be to raise them, and you'll get there. You'll start to turn that corner, but it's going to take time, especially when it's a cultural thing. We feed rabbit to like every person who comes onto the farm if we can help it. I had a girlfriend came last spring and stayed, and we got her up here and made burgers, rabbit burgers. So we just try and, introduce it to everybody you can, and eventually you'll start to get people. Jacinda, I like the worm bin idea. I want to try that. Plus, it would supply the ducks with treats, and that's part of why I'm trying to do it. So the red wigglers aren't terribly big, but we raise a lot of chickens, and now that I've got the quail, so it'd be nice to not only have the composting end of things, but also an extra feed source for the animals, the birds in particular. So, let's see, Anita, are there grand champions for rabbits? Yeah, you can grand champion a rabbit. Your Shy's gardener. Currently is 30 by 36 by 18 hutches. Is that big enough for moms and babies with the American? Um, 30 by 36 by 18. Okay, so that is what I use for cages for the Americans. Our cages are all 30 by 36 by 18. What I will tell you is to make very sure that you are weaning them promptly at 8 weeks. These guys grow really fast. And if you get a big litter of like 10 and 13, which I've had, I can to have drop pans because I have stackers. If I could build them any bigger, I would actually go 48 inches wide instead of 36 just to accommodate the bigger litters. And my Americans tend to be on the big side. To know that going in, that the standard for doe is 10 to 12 pounds. Almost all of mine hit 12 pounds. I have them on the bigger side. The stock that I'm bringing in, the breeders consistently make sure that. So, Landon, how many breeders do you currently have? Um, to be honest, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Most of my cages are full of breeders, but we're getting ready to, which hopefully I'll have some videos out this summer of all the ways that we use rabbits on the farm. They don't just live in the barn. But yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know. I think I counted here recently and had 42 harlequins. That's bucks and does. American herd has come way back. I think I'm down to like 12. And then I'm bringing in a whole bunch more. Like right now, I'm talking about bringing. Um, I don't know how long I'll have everybody, and then, of course, I've got 6 satins and I've got happening in the rabbitry, so I don't have all my numbers off the top of my head. Let's see. I have a struggling first-time mother, and I can possibly feed her to help put on weight. She's on alfalfa pellets right now. Um, yeah. Do you know why she's struggling? Like, is it a big litter? Is she milking really heavily, or just did she have a complicated birth? Um, Yeah, the best thing you can do is you need to up her protein is what she needs. You can give calf manna a couple tablespoons a day, depending on how big she is. Like a 10-pound rabbit, I would give like 2 tablespoons of calf manna um once a day, at least for the first week until she gets used to the protein climb, and then 2 teaspoons would be fine a day for the next couple weeks. It'll put more weight on them. And we're gonna buffer again. Let's see. Okay. I think that will help with the milk production too. So that would probably be the. So she had 11, lost 5 because I messed up. She just seems to lose a ton of weight compared to my other one who just had babies. She could be a real nervous mother too. Sometimes the first litter, they get real neurotic about the whole thing and they're in and out of the box a couple weeks. It'll help. It'll help her milk production and um put weight on. Shy, good to know. We plan to build the hutches, have the material, just got to put them together. So I may make adjustments to have a couple 30 by 42 by 18. It just gets a little tight in there every now and then. Yeah, Shire, I think she's saying to give calf mana. Yes, calf mana. That's kind of the high points of what's been going on around here. So I've still been getting a lot of questions breeding, and they both lifted yesterday. So I'm hoping that means we're turning the corner. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it is buffering pretty bad. If it doesn't stop here in the next couple of minutes, we'll probably just go ahead and wrap it up because I know that's frustrating for both of us, for all of us. So, but yeah, that's kind of the high points of what's been going on around here. Lots of rabbit stuff as usual. Lots of videos coming when I have time. That's about all I've got. I'll give it a minute, see if anybody's got any other questions because I know it's there it goes again. Let's see, Shy, have you thought of doing quail care videos? I don't think I've seen a series similar to your Red ones. I probably will. I've only had them since September, but yeah, I'll probably do some here pretty soon. Now that we've had them for a while, and I've kind of gotten the hang of doing them. So yeah, probably soon. I know, and the camera doesn't work real well in there, but um, yeah, I mean, because quail are kind of funny. So there's some feeding aspects that you've got to worry about, and their cage sizes are pretty. These chickens forever, and I don't really talk about them much because they're chickens. So, or in a separate bowl, and I type Ray. Those kids with the nest box I mentioned last week. I found a great way to hold them. I turned one of my winter socks on Parkway inside out, and I put them in like a stocking stuffer. That that works. Yeah, those little rabbits are a little bit spritey, so yeah, that works. Shy's Garden, look forward to them. Quail is also on our homestead livestock list we plan to get into one day. Yeah, we we're getting quite a hefty little waiting list on them. I'm gonna be bringing in some more jumbo stock here probably in another month maybe. I'm gonna order some eggs from another and so yeah, I want to get a couple of different lines of the jumbos, and we're excited to have them. And Louis, thank you. It's funny, it seems like it starts doing fine every time I quit talking, and I start talking again, and it buffers. Let's see. Joshua, this is my first time breeding. One's in New Zealand, and the other is a Californian. It happens. New Zealand's, and that was part of why I got rid of my New Zealand's, is that they're kind of be a little bit more nervous. Let's see. All right, I think I have caught up with everything. It's kind of working, kind of not working. If nobody has anything else, I'll probably just go ahead and end it. It seems like it's buff minute or so, which is kind of frustrating, but um, there it goes again. But if you have any questions, if anybody has anything else, just type it in real quick. Otherwise, I'm probably going to go ahead and just end it. Um, Joshua, she seems nervous for sure. Lots of fur pulling. It's normal, especially in New Zealand. They seem to be. Most of my cages came from Bass Equipment back when Bass had an office in California, and it was cheaper shipping. I bought a cage from Bass here not too long ago, and their prices have gone up quite a bit. So you're just gonna have to price shop and see. I was trying to think of the name of it. Great Northern is one of my favorite in the Northwest. Woody's Rabbits is another, and they ship, but it's the shipping that kills you right now because the shipping has gotten so expensive. But if they're at a show, but with no shows, yeah, you just can't do much with it. The 30 by 36s. So that's 3 levels, legs, pans, slides, and cast. Just do it soon, like soon. I was talking to the guy at Great Northern yesterday about some cage wire floors, and he was saying that he's predicting, what he told me is he thinks it's going to be a very, very busy year again, and a lot of on getting into another breed. Hello, Robin. You didn't miss much. It's buffering pretty bad, so because I'm a resource leader, I still have to attend all the 4-H leader meetings. So I've got to do that here very shortly. So I'm gonna get off of here and go make some dinner and relax my throat. You got any? And I promise I will try and put some videos and some shorts out. Um, I will answer this last question though, because yeah. If I ever do another breed, I want it to be a tan. I love the looks of them. Do you have? They're really high strung. Everybody I know who raises tans tends to foster the babies off to another breed. Beautiful tans, but they're really, really kind of high strung. So, yeah, and try. John Courtier. If I plan to start a rabbitry with 2 trios, Silver Fox in New Zealand, what do you think? Honestly, if you're going to buy 6 rabbits, pick a breed that you like and do 6 rabbits of one breed. I don't recommend that anybody start a rabbitry with 2 breeds. You learn a lot more by picking one breed, really starting to understand how that breed works, and then adding something else in. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, no. Just spend the money if you want 6 rabbits,